is business. And I used to use the word that this is merchandise. It is the god of mammon. It is business. It is merchandise. They are merchandising on you. It's business. They are building their business on you. Yes, but now it's worse than that. I've just discovered that it's worse than business or merchandising on you. Because in business, if the church were to be business to people, they will be giving you some product in exchange for the money that they are collecting from you. Not hope, not illusion, not a mirage. But what these churches are doing is that they are not giving you a service or a product. They are not exchanging. When you bring your money, offering and tithe and things like that, there is nothing, there is no added value that they are adding to you in terms of what they themselves have created. Now, what they do is that they clink your faith to God and say, expect something from the invisible God. And, they put the switch to responsibility, because if I go to the market now, I cannot go to the market and then the seller will say, give me $100. This is how much I'm going to sell peace to you. Let's say peace or joy. So I say, okay, give me the joy. I will go to the cashier and give the $100. But then you are telling me, no, give the $100 and go home. Somehow the joy will come. From who? Well, God, miracle will happen. That is coming. That is coming. So that's what the churches are doing. It is not business anymore. It is not merchandise anymore. It is rude, robbery, fraud.
MMM.
It is MMM. It is selling air. It is selling emptiness to people. And then people they are really taking your cash, your real cash, real cash. And then they are telling you, go home, miracle money will come. God will do it, something will do a miracle. Will you go to a shop for a car, to buy a car, pay the money for the car, and then somebody will tell you, hope, when will it come? Well, just hope, just believe. That you will go to the police station and arrest that car seller because he has just duped you. This is what religion is doing to our people in Africa right now. It is worse than we think. It is much more worse than business. It is much worse than merchandising. It is even much worse than armed robbery. Because with armed robbery, you are aware that somebody is coming to take your life or to take your property. And you are poised for that. You are ready to fight and resist. And you know there is violence. But what they do is that they give you injection. They like the injection with anesthetics, yes, and make you to sleep. They drown your mind, and make you to be trusting. And when this is the greatest amount, that is why fraud is more dangerous than armed robbery. Because that is why fraud is more dangerous than theft. Because in fraud, it is defrauding you out of trust. They make you to trust in them, so your so-called pastors. But more than that, they make you to trust in the one that all of us trust in. They make you to trust in God. They present God as the one that is making the commitment to you. But God is not making any commitment to you. They are just using his name. God has already done everything in his own part. He has already given you everything you need for life and godliness. So he is not making you any promise that come and sow any seed. God is not the one defrauding you. God is not the one giving you that promise. But they attach your faith and your expectation not to themselves. They remove it from themselves and they begin to now tell you it is he that is responsible. It's more like saying you go to the shop now to buy a car and you bring $100,000 for the car, and then the person took your $100,000 and then tells you, my father will give you the car. When? I don't know, just believe. Where is your father? I don't know where he is. Do you even have a father? I'm not sure. Where does he live? No address.
Oh, I mean.
So this is what these people are doing to our people. They are saying, believe now, just believe. And you have taken my money, I should believe.
Why can't you believe for the money?
Why can't you believe yourself for your own money? If you need that money, why can't you believe? Why do you need my money by cash? And me, I need to get my own money back by faith. Are you not the one teaching me about faith?
You know, the funny one they do, when church probably wants to do a project, when they want to do a project, they want to do some fundraising, they announce it and they make people commit.
We need to build something.
We need to build something. But when you have a problem and you go, they will say you should go and trust God. But how come
I will pray for you.
I will pray for you, go and trust God. But how come you were not trusting God when you wanted money for church?
Yes, below, I'm going to put a link to the video down in the comment section for you to watch the entire video. It's a very good, interesting question and answer session that people writing questions concerning whatever, I guess mostly discovering your purpose for which God put you on this earth. But I just want to add my 2 cents, as I always do. I agree with everything he's saying. Especially this is really directed to the churches in Africa, but it's also prevalent here in America. That the pastor says, sow a seed or bring this offering and then trust God for the harvest. Well, if I'm going to, if the pastor is saying that and God is that big, then maybe the pastor himself should trust God instead of taking my money and telling me to trust God for the harvest. Can you imagine that? Because it's sowing and reaping. You should sow into this soil, and the soil is the ministry or the anointing. You should sow into this ministry, sow into this soil. It's a fruitful soil. It's a fertile soil, excuse me. Or tap into this anointing, or tap into this unction. Well, if that anointing and that unction upon your pastor and his shrine he called church, if it's so powerful, then I don't have to give him money. Let him tap and sow into his own soil. Let him reap. Let me see the harvest. Let him give the money to us. How's that? They always say to come and sow into the ministry, sow into the life, tap into the anointing, and then you will reap the harvest. Somehow God will bless you. Well, I think it's time for us to begin to make a demand. Say, listen, pastor, instead of us always sowing and into your life and expecting God to reap the harvest from God by some kind of magic wine or some kind of magic, maybe it's time that you sow into our lives, because a man must practice what he preached. So it's time for us to begin to protest and tell the pastor, maybe pastor, all these years we have sow. Some of us have sown our houses, our ministry, our children. You have sown yourself out of a marriage, out of a job, out of a house, out of a career, out of a business. You have sown yourself out of your mind, and nothing came back. And they'll keep telling you haven't sown enough or you don't have enough faith. You sow yourself out pretty much out of life. It's time for us to begin to go to this pastor and make a demand, protest. So listen, pastor, all these years we have sown, we didn't reap anything. So it's time for you to sow into us, and let the same God who you told us we should trust to reap the harvest from sowing into you. It is time for pastor to sow into us. Let him wait on God to reap the harvest. Isn't it time? I mean, a man must practice what he preached now. So it's time for you guys to go to your pastor and make a demand. Pastor, I have a need. So it's time for you to sow a seed in my life and trust God to bless you. Because that's how they preach. That if you got a need, sow to the man of God and God will bless you. What man of God, look here. The church got a need. So it's time for you to sow into the church life. I mean the bride. I don't mean the physical being the church, the bride. It's time for the pastors, the so-called men of God. It's time for you to sow into the lives of the people who you have deceived all these years. And now you go and trust God to reap the harvest. You go and trust God to bless you. Ain't it? Most of the Pentecostal, if not all of the Pentecostal churches in Africa, they have bankrupted the continent. Now it's time for the continent to bankrupt them. It is time for an uprising. Don't come and step to my page and talk your nonsense with your religious brainwash mentality. Talking about touch not God's anointed. It's not going to work. Nobody's interested in your nonsense. Touch not God's anointed. Stop it. You sound like a broken record. You sound like a child who don't even have any brains. Don't touch not. Do you have anything else to say? Have you even read our scriptures in this context? Or you just repeating what your pastor, your God-called pastor told you? Stop it. Don't touch not God. Don't touch me. I'm God's anointed. We are all God's anointed, but you don't know who you are, so I will tell you who I am. I'm God's anointed, so you better not touch me. Thank you. Bye-bye.